Welcome back to the channel, lads and ladies, and welcome to Making Friends in War Thunder. This is Ozzy Fur's Gammafox. Looks like we have another furry on the Discord. One of my childhood friends, who of course is a fellow adult now. He was a Navy corpsman, I think that's what they call them, medic. And he worked with special forces, and his body got totally destroyed by the work that he was doing, carrying heavy weights and jumping out of helicopters, fun stuff like that. And he heavily self-medicates with marijuanas, which are totally legal here in the beautiful state of Oregon. But he also has some really cool kids. So he married an interesting woman and made some very interesting kids. And why do I mention that? I love him and his whole family. And also, his kids are all hilarious. That's something that the two of us have in common, is we have hilarious offspring that are a little bit too much like us to really make fun of as much as we want to. But all that is to say, my buddy Sam's, how old is he? I think he's around 11, 12-year-old son, something like that, is an artistic furry. He likes the art style. He likes the expression. He's not interested in weird sexual stuff. He just likes to wear ears and a tail, and it's one that clips onto the back of his pants, not the other way around. Anyway, I don't know what Gammafox is all about. We just met in the game of War Thunder, and I feel like I made a friend today. But it's not my first furry friend, and it's not going to be my last. Myself, I think the art is interesting when it doesn't get weird, and I think it gets weird. Anyway, let's move right on from that. Get a little hairy up in here. I was watching Gammafox's replay because we met in this match, and I think you'll see how. And he ended up having a really good game. So what was I doing while Gammafox was getting blitzed over there? He pushed out and got into a bad position. I was trolling the hell out of some German Kruppstahl. So here's this Tiger 2. Watch this. You're gonna love it. So there's an ally heavy tank behind me who's jockeying for position. I kill the Tiger's track. I kill his driver, and look at the gun sight bug on the T-114. I just want you to notice that, because apparently Gaijin hasn't. And it's even further over now that I scope in again. Kill the driver again, and we've got a horny T-29 behind us, or whatever he is. He'd seen machine gunning me. Get out of the way, little small fry. I've got a big gun to swing. He's gonna get blitzed. It's so funny. The Tiger kills him. Anyway, back to Gammafox. He's back in town, and he's committed to capturing the A point. He's picked up a kill already, and now he's in the Centurion Mark, what is this, 3, I think? One of the strongest tanks at 6'7" in the entire game. Very capable vehicle. And one of the things that I was kind of surprised with about Gammafox, the proof here as he goes for the angled upper front plate of the Tiger 2H, he didn't seem to be the most experienced player in War Thunder. Now, I'm somebody with like easily over 1,000 hours in the game. I've got months in certain game modes of playtime. And Gammafox reminds me of the way I used to play the game when I was playing my STRV a lot, grinding through the British Street. I didn't always know where to aim on an enemy tank. One of the things that I really notice is that he seems to push forward sometimes when he doesn't really need to push forward. You know, he's fired his round, the enemy hasn't fired, and he'll push up. That's just asking to get shot, and that's exactly the kind of thing, again, that I used to do. It took me a long time to learn how to play the game properly, or how to play the game more successfully. gets a shot on the Tiger, and he should be able to beat Boys reload. He decides to go for the Panther, what is that, F, I think? Panther G? One of those. Anyway, he F'd him good, going straight through the upper front plate and taking down every dang thing inside that vehicle. On the other hand, he now has what must be a reloaded Tiger staring him in the face. Enemy Panther in the spawn, presumably, with still spawn protection as Gammafox's round passes cleanly through his vehicle, dealing no damage. Tiger reloaded, pushes up, and it seems like his round disappeared. I swear, I don't even know where that went. Again, going for the upper front plate, but this time managing to punch through with the incredible penetrative power of British AP DS. Finishing off the crew, that was certainly a hairy situation. I think that the Tiger's round actually disappeared. I was getting a lot of I don't want to call it packet loss. It wasn't packet loss. It's like you send information to the server and the server drops it. This update has been very buggy since the last minor patch, and it was really noticeable tonight when I was, or last night when I was playing the game. This is going to come out about a week from when I made the video, so I expect most of these bugs to be taken care of. Once again, we see the incredible power of the Centurion's APDS going straight through the upper frontal plate of that IS-2. Another shot into another tank takes it down with a single round, as just again and again you can see the fast reload on Centurion, the fact that the enemy's focusing on other team members, and the incredible armor penetrating quality, the fantastic top of the line gun handling for 6.7 with a 2-plane stabilizer, and good mobility of the turret and the gun really shows why this medium tank can make a huge difference in this battle. And back in the day, when I was playing the way that I see Gammafox playing now, a 10 kill match would have been incredible. I haven't talked with Gamma to see how he felt about this match, other than just a little bit, but you can see no room for mistakes here, as he just misses the cannon breach of IS-2 and it takes him down. Meanwhile, what was I doing? A2D, my friends. I paid for the blue navy skin, and I just love the look of it. And I decided to give A2D another shot, trying out the 250-pound bombs. They really don't blow things up unless you get them directly on the enemy vehicle. Even you see the BMP with rounds falling close enough to break the tracks do not initiate hull break, but rounds, I should say bombs. But he's as good as dead because the cannons on A2D have around 30 millimeters of penetration with the AP. Top of a BMP doesn't stand a chance. Our boy Gamma back in the fight. This time the round directly into the upper frontal plate of the late war IS-2 doesn't manage to take him down, but look at those beautiful bombs. Like I said, if you can get him directly on the skin of the tank, you can even take down IS-2. And who was that? That was me. I saw my teammate there getting attacked. I saw him go for his shot. It's dangerous to drop bombs so close to a Vickers because they have such thin armor, but we managed to come in for a clutch save, establishing our friendship. What's that? A friendship formed on the field of battle. Let's see, there is I think it's one of the Psalms in the Bible written by King David that says, no, it's not in the Psalms, it's in Samuel, sorry, it's in the historical chronicles. So Samuel is talking about the rise of King David, if you will, in the Bible, and he said that, oh geez, who was it? David and Jeremiah, I think was his name, the son of Shaul, the king. They became friends on the field of battle. And it says that their friendship was was a friendship that was stronger than a love a man has for a woman. And ask any veteran, if your battle buddy needs help, you're there. Now, I'm not a combat veteran. I feel like I grew up in a combat zone because my mom and my dad were actively trying to kill each other. But I understand that there is an incredible camaraderie between friends that build their friendship on the field of battle. This is just a game, but let me tell you something. When you rescue somebody in the game of War Thunder, it feels pretty damn good. Anyway, the match is winding down. There's really not much for either of us to do. A cheeky Focke-Wulf flew in and killed me in my A2D when I was low on energy, which is totally cool with me, but I will feel free to reciprocate in my Spitfire. American Premium Bias, my friends. All of these vehicles I used in my 6-7 lineup had a golden name tag. Anyway, that's about it for that match, and now we turn to Rilwick JGSR. I don't know. JGSR of RLWC squad and squadron, I should say. And he appears to be in the wrpl prototype, another golden vehicle that I just acquired myself recently on discount. And he's going to show us one of, if not the highest kill game I've ever seen in realistic ground battles for War Thunder. Here in a power position, you can see first off, JGSR, I'm going to call you JGSR just because I don't know what your name is, but Yagi Boy is set up in a good position. You can see on the minimap that he is filling the net the way that I recommend when it comes to picking a position. If you imagine that your team is a net and they're spread out, you just want to fill holes in the net. Of course, you want to make sure that your position also has an easy avenue of escape. All Yagi Boy needs to do is back down the hill for a few seconds to get into cover, as you see him doing. He's probably about 2 or 3 seconds from hard cover from the enemy, and even less time from getting back into a firing position. In a full down tier with the highest battle rating vehicles he'll face at a 6-0, so Panthers and Tigers, he really has an opportunity to let the powerful gun and the reasonable armor of this essentially Japanese Ferdinand do its work. The fact that this vehicle sits at a 6-0 battle rating, I think it's 6-0 and not 5-7, I could be mistaken, means that it sometimes has an incredible opportunity to make that armor work, and even in an up tier, the gun can do stuff. As you see, it's slapping hard. Another note about the position that JGSR has taken up here is that he has bushes on his vehicle, so he has a tiny amount of stealth, especially from longer range, but also it's difficult for the enemy to flank him. He has one side, which is actually the side he's facing, where he's likely to get flanking shots on advancing enemies, and also they have to push over a hill to get to him. And then if he's going to be flanked by the enemy, they have to go all the way around the hill or drive close enough that they have to crest the hill beside him, and that'll be close enough for him to hear them. So these are all evidence of a good power position, and yet you can see JGSR pushing forward when the time is right. He's not advancing beyond his team, so he's getting constant support from his teammates, as you see here, and he is reciprocating in style with power and effectiveness, putting the gun of this wrpl prototype to work. Now, could you do all of these things with a medium tank? For the most part, yes, but already JGSR has bounced some shots that Japanese tanks at this battle rating would have a difficult time doing. The Japanese Tiger could, as another premium vehicle at 5.7, do very similar work to what he's been doing, although even a slight flank is enough to mitigate the armor of the Tiger's turret, which is really the only thing you want to expose from a position like this. So the style that Yagser is using here is versatile, and yet it's perfectly suited to the vehicle that he's taking out today. Now in a long-range engagement, which is the bread and butter of the Ho-Ri prototype, yet facing the Panther, which is also a very capable vehicle in long-range engagements with rather small weak spots, as evidenced by that turret shot that ended up only yellowing the breech and cannon. It could be more damage than the Panther is willing to continue to engage with, but unlike Yagser's former position, him being pushed up too far to easily retreat, the Panther also has a difficult time getting to reliable cover, although he does have that wooden barricade that has much more survivability than you would expect out of your typical log obstacle. Yeah, that's right. We're looking at a round that cannot push through 8 inches of dirt. Anyway, that is just the way that computer games work. You have to decide if something is destructible or not, if rounds can pass through it or not, and there's not a whole lot of wiggle room for fuzzy logic like you find in the real world. Anyway, enemy Tiger out in the open. You know his life is going to be short-lived. Angled armor fairly nicely, but not enough to deal with the incredible punching power of the, I think it's a 105 high velocity gun. High velocity for the time. Obviously this is not a you know, Royal Ordnance L7? Anyway, I don't know. But it does smack plenty hard for a World War II era tank, and yet what appears to be, is that a T-34-57 or STZ? I can't quite tell. In any event, getting a brilliant and clutch shot on the Ho-Ri prototype's cannon barrel. Yagi Boy is going to need to relax for a bit and repair, and yet it's a difficult time to stop firing with the enemy pushing forward, and yet getting some much needed support from his team, who themselves have suffered some losses in this heated fight over the B point, gives Yagser just enough time to repair his vehicle with 3 enemy tanks pushing up. The T-34 firing on him. It looks like that was an STZ, if I'm not mistaken. I could be mistaken. This is a battle rating where you will commonly see T-34-57s. In fact, I think that was the Slim Johnson T-34-57 barrel that can be so terrifying to foes. And taking down a second enemy with the enemy SPAA opening up, revealing his position. The double 37 Haven, what is that, Ostwind 2 Electric Boogaloo. That's one of those vehicles that has a little bit more survivability than your typical Ostwind. Twice the firepower, which really matters against aircraft. You shoot down a lot more planes that way. And against everything else, you can take down cannon barrels in half the time. It really is a very effective vehicle. When it's not exposed and getting shot by a 105. Your survivability don't mean jack against a round like that. Anyway, my 2-year-old Brooklyn is throwing her bottle across the room because she's finally drained it, and now she has her lammy stuffed lamb friend, and she's all ensconced in her blankets, and she's got Lammy flipped over so she can tug on the smooth silky tags on his butt. And what I mean to say is, my toddler is in a happy place right now where she can get just the ultimate of luxury and comfort, which is what I provide for my kids. And Yagser is finally in a bit more comfortable of a position, having fought his way along with his teammates into domination of the local area. And yet, looking at the minimap, you can see that the other 2 capture zones are very much infested with enemy presence, and no doubt if you start drawing lines in your head, you can imagine the enemy getting ready to push from their spawn, to push from those two different locations toward the B point, and that's exactly what we see with that enemy getting pinged on the map. Another two getting pinged. 3 enemies were heading toward that location, one of them taken down, 2 still on the loose, and this is now that War Thunder chest that we talked about before. Yagser noticing enemy fire coming from just past that ridge that he's observing. He's waiting for the enemy to push forward for a little bit, then he decides himself to push forward. It looks like there could be 2 enemy tanks operating in the area, with more getting ready to push over the ridge in the direction where Yagser himself is heading. He may be deciding to go and, yep, take down some flankers, or what would be flankers, when he turns to engage the enemy tank that's been revealed, and now indeed he turns, getting ready to take down the person who was revealing their position by firing their main cannon and machine gun at what I think was aircraft. That's another thing that comes into play as a French heavy tank shows up and actually manages to absorb a round by its turret armor. Only the overlapping of mantlet and turret protection there saved that French tank, and it shan't work a second time, I tell you. At 5.7, that I can't remember the name of that thing. I think it's the ARL. I could be mistaken, but it definitely isn't the royalty that it wants to be, for sure. The enemy tank that was pushing up turns out to be a tank destroyer, and another in the bushes. Jagdpanzer 4.5, Jagdpanzer 70, I can't remember which one it is, but I need to put on a Spider-Man mask right now because my toddler is telling me to, so I'll be just a moment. My toddler and my baby are starting to get active again, so I'm running out of time. And speaking of, the enemy Hetzer now in a terrible position, having shown his cannon barrel. Now Yagser with a chance to take down the much smaller German tank destroyer, and yet that's gonna have to wait as an enemy Tiger pushes up to rescue the small one. And yet, I'm sorry, little one, he just wasn't strong enough to save them. They look like big, strong, powerful hands, and yet they just couldn't carry his team after Panther. Very good, baby. Panther after Panther, Tiger after Tiger tries to take down the Japanese behemoth and just can't manage to do it. Very good, baby. Teeth all clean. Guppy just on her own decided to brush her teeth. She wanted to brush her teeth with orange juice. She wanted to brush her teeth with slime, and I told her no to both of those. And then she says brush teeth with water. So you know what? She can brush her teeth with water. And now she's off on another adventure. Oh, you're making slime? Okay, well you go get started and then I'll go watch you, okay? And she's gonna need some more adult or you need something from me? Yeah, here, take a sock. She's gonna definitely need some adult supervision, but Yagser has 2 more kills yet to get in this match before I can take off from my computer and watch more closely what exactly my toddler is doing. And with 1 round falling down into the Panther, a second shot, can he get? Yes, it is. His 18th kill. And that's going to be just about it for this match with JGSR. And I say, GG, JG. Well done. You can hear that I have a 2-year-old to take care of. So I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye-bye. Guppy, say bye-bye. Say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Alright, bye everybody.